Vinicius Jr. showed the football world exactly why he remains one of the most electrifying players on the planet when he produced a moment of pure imagination against Levante, an outside-of-the-foot strike that bent into the net and silenced any doubters in the stadium. That goal did more than a game. It was a reminder that this young Brazilian can change matches in a flash that begged the question of why he wasn't starting more regularly. Then, in an interview for the club channel, he said something deceptively simple. "Luka Modric taught me that. We miss him." Those 7 words landed like a dropped microphone, equal parts tribute and provocation, because they spoke to a reality at the club that goes beyond a single match. The departure of a generational midfield artist left a hole not just in tactics, but in temperament and leadership. To unpack why that line matters, you have to map what Modric represented. For more than a decade, he was the metronome for Real Madrid, the passer who could thread impossible balls, the calming presence with an old soul reading of the game. His influence extended into the training ground, where younger players soaked up the craft and the tiny details that separate a good goal from a masterpiece. Losing a player like that is never purely tactical. It's a cultural shift, and when a rising star like Vinicius publicly names Modric as a teacher, he's doing more than paying respect. He's acknowledging the vacuum. That vacuum is now a boardroom and managerial problem as much as a pitch one. There's drama on multiple fronts. First, selection. Vinicius had seen time on the bench recently, prompting murmurs among fans who expect a player of his explosive profile to start every game. His response on the pitch, producing a goal of such audacity, is a statement to the manager that he can't be eased out of the conversation. Second, the quote itself raises uncomfortable questions for the club's leadership. If players are openly saying they miss a former teammate, it amplifies pressure on the hierarchy to either explain the decision, replace the missing qualities in the squad, or accept a transitional season. For supporters who watched Modric orchestrate midfield miracles for years, Vinícius' words landed as validation of a shared nostalgia and an urgent call for direction. But this is not simply about sentiment. There are easy, practical angles to explore. Who is going to pull the strings now? Where will the creative passes come from in tight matches? Middle midfield solutions can be bought, promoted or redefined, but none replicates the lived experience of a player who taught youngsters in training, who slipped them little secrets that show up in moments like that trivela against Levante. Vinicius' acknowledgement also frames him as more than a winger who runs and dribbles. It positions him as a learner and a potential leader who understands the tactical subtleties that made Modric indispensable. That evolution in his self-image could be crucial for Madrid's immediate future. Off the pitch, the line instantly lit social channels. Clips of the goal and the interview racked up views. Pundits debated whether this was a gentle prod at the board or a genuine, emotional thank you to a mentor who left an indelible mark. For Florentino Perez and the sporting directors, the conversation is now more public and more urgent. Fans want reassurance that the club has a plan to replace leadership on the field, not just firepower in the transfer market. For Xabi Alonso, it's a selection headache and an opportunity. Do you build a side that leans into Vinicius' unpredictability and try to find a creative partner internally, or do you hunt replacements externally? Either route has consequences and costs. Finally, there's the human story. Football is cyclical. Players arrive, become mentors, and leave legacies that shape the next generation. Vinicius' shot was brilliance. His words turned that brilliance into a narrative catalyst. If Madrid can channel this moment constructively by giving Vinicius consistent trust, by clarifying midfield plans, and by respecting the legacy Modric left while building a new identity, they'll have navigated what could otherwise become a messy transition. If they don't, moments like this one risk becoming symbols of a club out of step with its own heartbeat. For now, fans will replay the goal and the quote, debating whether that line was gratitude, criticism, or simply the voice of a young star demanding the stage he believes he deserves.